What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. Popular internet comedian Ryan Davis has been critical of not necessarily Kevin Samuels directly. He has taken somewhat of an oblique approach in the fact that he never criticized Kevin Samuels directly, yet he criticizes his fan base. Okay, so this is something that's pretty unique, and this is something that's constitutive with Mr. Davis. He constantly comes at Kevin Samuels fans in comment sections, or those who have a problem with his commentary regarding Kevin Samuels fans. Now, let me just say this, as a content creator, one of the things is that you can be annoyed with is that people have fan bases. I mean, you have Fresh and Fit guy fan bases. I have a strong fan base. Kevin Samuels has an enormous fan base. So if you're going to talk about somebody, their subscribers are going to come to their defense. It's no different with Tasha K. It's no different than with Lovely T. It's no different with Hassan Campbell. Anybody who has subscribers that really like their content, if they see you coming for them, they're going to defend them. That's the way that the social media content creators kind of have it. It's kind of like, little sets or something like that, right? It happens with the Black Manosphere community. You have it with the swirling community. It is what it is, okay? But Ryan Davis made a Instagram IGTV video dissing the fan base of Kevin Samuels. And he was saying that, in many words, that a lot of Kevin Samuels fans are D-writers. They will do anything to protect their daddy, Kevin Samuels. And they go overboard in terms of talking shit about women. Now, I have to agree with Ryan Davis, okay? Because I have subscribers that go overboard in my comment section if I see it. If it's too bad, I'll remove it, okay? So he's not wrong when he says that guys who are associated with the manosphere can sometimes go overboard in trolling women online, okay, or in those chats, or just in general talking lighthearted bullshit about them. That happens. However, that is also the same case of most content creators. Like Cynthia G's fans. I'm just using her as an example. Her fans talk shit about black men. And, you have sports fans who talk shit about each other. This is exactly what happens, but it's just what happens online. But does it happen? Yes. He's right about that. It happens. Can they go overboard? Absolutely. Okay? And he says that these are the same guys who won't even approach a woman in the first place, or complain about a woman, are too afraid to say what Kevin Samuels is saying about women, but they will hide behind profiles online and they say the same things. But they won't say it in person. Absolutely. That happens. It goes for almost any genre. Sports, the red pill, religion, politics. Any sector, you will have people who talk a lot of shit behind the internet profile. That's what they do, right? But then Mr. Davis, he starts to operate in what is Latin for bad faith, which is, malafide, right? Shout out to Obsidian for that, malafides, operating in bad faith. He starts to talk about a lot of you guys that act like that are raised by single moms. Okay? A lot of you guys are raised by women and you didn't have a father figure in your life. And that's why you act like that. Now, Mr. Davis tends to be from the African American community. Okay? I would agree to this. So when you make that statement, Mr. Davis, are you blaming these men for not having a father figure? And see, this is what I want to talk about, because he says, you same guys, when Kevin Samuels is talking shit about women, you're all hooping and hollering, But, you know, if he's talking about men, you don't say anything. And that is kind of true, right? I will definitely agree to that. But I want to talk about this. Well, why is it their fault that they didn't have access to a father figure? Is it their fault, Ryan? Like, in this case, we blame the victim a lot. Black men are no means by perfect. They're no means perfect. But if brothers come up with situations where there are no father figures, and the mother made a bad mistake, choosing a man, now let's blame the child, or even the woman if she's a child. Oh, you didn't grow up with a dad. You didn't grow up with a mom. That's how you act like that. Well, is it their fault? And a lot of times, in Black America, mothers have ran off the fathers from the child. Okay? Even Kevin Samuels himself, I believe, admits that about his own situation. All right? I've seen it in my life. Many men have seen women, give up on their relationships with men, and it was a good man, and then the man left. He went and remarried, got with somebody else, and then the child comes up with dysfunctional behavior that he learns from the mom, and then you want to act like, oh, well, you've been raised by a single mom. You ain't got no father figure. So, whose fault is that? It's not the man's fault. He's just a child. If that's your argument, you have to have some blame on the people that helped create him and whoever reared him to his adulthood, which many times was his mother. See, this is what I'm talking about, operating in bad faith, okay? However, he starts to talk about that a lot of these guys can't get women, they can't get sex and things like that, and this is the reason why they want to support Kevin Samuels. I mean, okay. But he also talks about, and this is the sad part, Mr. Davis tries to equate the danger that women feel in society. He starts talking about cases where women were beat, women were shot, okay? Women were killed. And he tries to say that the reason why women are saying protect Black women is because of guys that watch Kevin Samuels. See, he's trying to position the fact that Kevin Samuels' content, while he may be doing some good, he's created more monsters that at the same time are responsible for these acts. He didn't say that directly, but he connected it to this point. What I'm saying. If you watch the video, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. He said, I see why women, are so scared, because you guys are the biggest threat to women. In other words, it's Kevin Samuels fans. That's what he's alluding to. Are out here creating these dangerous things for women. My question to Mr. Ryan Davis is, where is the proof that since these women are so afraid for their lives, what proof do you have that Kevin Samuels followers are involved in any of these things that you're talking about? Because again, you're operating in bad faith. You're arguing in bad faith. That positioning statement has nothing to do with the content of Kevin Samuels. You're just getting trolled by some Kevin Samuels fans, and so because you don't like it, let me throw them in the sea of decrepit bastards who assault and harm women. Let's do that, because that's where your intelligence is at. So you're trying to show up all these victims and all these victims of abuse, and my heart goes out to them. But what does that have to do with the Kevin Samuels fans that you don't like on Instagram, that you've never met, that you don't know? You don't even know if you're talking to a man or a woman in the post. You don't know. Okay? Again, operating in bad faith. He also talks about this. He says at one point, okay, Kevin always asks women on the show, do you want to pay significant bills when you're pregnant? It's a classic question that Kevin asks. Okay? Most of the women say no. Almost all women say no, right? Then there are people in the comment section who will come in and they will say, oh man, see, she wanted it easy. She wanted it easy, right? he takes a few of those comments and then he brings up stats proving that, 300,000 American women die in childbirth every year. In other words, a few trolls who come in and say that you guys don't want to take care of pregnant women, but look at these statistics. Okay? What proof, and I'm going to talk about this, since you want to use numbers, if you're going to use numbers for one thing, use them for all, Ryan. What proof do you have that Kevin Samuels followers are contributing to women being born or having maternal deaths during pregnancy? Even if a guy says, oh, she wants it easy, he has no control over a woman dying or not. He ain't the OBGYN. He's not the obstetrics person at all. So again, you're trying to conflate something that don't need to be conflated. And this is where education comes in. Because many of you guys that come on these platforms and you haven't been academically trained in anything, and really, in reality, it is comedy because you're so stupid it doesn't make any damn sense. Now, all of a sudden, let's compare ideologies to fit your positioning points. And your positioning point says you don't like Kevin Samuels. That's really what it is. It'll be much easier for you to come out and say that you feel like Kevin Samuels ain't shit. And you don't give a fuck about him. You might want to say that. It would sound better than, all of these attacking the fan bases and stuff. This ain't the first time you came for his fans. And what guy has time to come for somebody's fan base? This is the second time you did this. I mean, I imagine me, I have enough time in my life to come for Tariq Nasheed's fans. Because, over a period of years, 2 years, I've already roasted you before in the video. Like, what's your motive? You can't argue, you can't debate the topics without operating in bad faith. And you need to sit down, bro. Because you're trying to put things there that you have no proof of. You have no absolutely idea what you're talking about. You can't quantify what Kevin Samuels fans have on women or effect, negative or positive, they have on women. I mean, you do see the receipts that Kevin Samuels does for people that he helps, but you can't prove me of the receipts of what Kevin Samuels does that hurts women. Nobody can. Because it's not out there yet. Because it don't exist. People talking shit in chat rooms are not the same as women being abused in America. I'm sorry. Those are two different variables. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell. Check out the first link at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high.